Hey, how you doing, everybody? All right, that's the worst Harry Carey impersonation
Very scary.
in the whole world, and that's my guest over there, Dolly Foster, who you actually knew who it was, didn't you, Dolly?
I did. I knew that was Harry Carey.
Hey, we're going to be talking monarchs on today's broadcast. Yep, and that's what we're going to be doing this Sunday with Dolly Foster, who's a friend of the show. She's been with us before and recently just moved on from the Oak Lawn Park District because she is heading for bigger and better things. You're getting yourself a degree, aren't you?
I am. I'm getting my master's finally.
Oh, finally. I know. I've thought about it.
Finally.
I think about it for about 30 seconds and I say, "Nah, done with school. Moved on. That's okay.
I won't I won't tell you when I started this degree because that would be very embarrassing to tell you when I started it. But I'm
no,
finishing it now.
it's really okay. You don't have to worry about it because this Sunday, hi, we're talking monarchs and because it is that season. Now, I have to admit, Dolly, I have not seen any monarch butterflies yet at all. Not in my yard, not anywhere nearby. Of course, I haven't been in a lot of. Well, I've been doing. I go out visiting, but I haven't been out to visit a natural area. Nope, I went out last Tuesday. No, 2 weeks ago Tuesday. So it was middle of May the last time I got out. Uh, we will be doing our show on the 29th, this Sunday. But monarchs are in town, aren't they?
They're here. They were here 3 weeks early. So they've been here for 2 weeks. And if you haven't seen one yet, it's just because the migration, they're trickling in, which is really very normal. Only it's more normal for us to see the trickle in June. So this is going to be a little bit um, early, and I haven't seen any yet, but I have reports from a lot of people all around the region that are even collecting eggs already. And the milkweed is up. The milkweed is there for them, and there's going to be
Wow.
enough for them. So
Yeah,
just
and I think I read something you sent out recently that said it doesn't matter if the milkweed is still just shooting up, Monarch can still utilize it. Is that right?
yes, they can. Yeah,
All
unless
right.
there's 20 eggs on a sprout that is that big. That's a problem. Uh, but for the most part, they will lay only one or two eggs on a plant because they know the mama monarchs know.
They know what?
They know how much milkweed that their caterpillar is going to need, and so they will only lay one or two eggs per plant. And if it's in the spring, hopefully they'll only lay one because it's pretty small.
Yeah.
But later on, it'll only be two or three on a plant because even when they're big, they eat a lot. And the good thing is that common milkweed and swamp milkweed shoot up very fast at this time of the year. I have some milkweed in my garden that's about 18 inches tall right now.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
anything that you
that
have growing on the edge should be up pretty high right now.
well, mine's not very high. And again, I said I have a northern exposure where it's growing, and so it's just coming out of the shade of my house. And so, mine are like this tall. But they will be up soon enough. And we were just discussing something before I hit record here, which was very interesting. And that is there are different kinds of milkweed that you might want to consider when you're planting in your yard. And I had
Yes.
thought about this only in terms of, well, some's orange and some's purple, but you're saying no. You might want to look at whether it clumps or whether it is a rambler.
Right. Yeah. I think there is a milkweed that is appropriate for every garden, whether you have a small city lot or a medium sized suburban lot, or you have a really big, peri urban or peri suburban area where you call yourself out in the country, but you're not too far from the grocery store. That's called peri urban.
Oh, really?
And
Okay, I'll write
so
that
if you have a
down.
nice
I have
little
to
lot out
write that
there,
down.
I think that's most people's goal is to go out and live somewhere where you have, a quarter acre or half acre. But no matter how big of a yard you have, even if you have no yard, I have known people who have grown milkweed in 5 gallon buckets up on, 15-story balconies and they still get a monarch. So you just have to have it. You have to have it, and there's a lot of different ones. There's 110 species in North America. There's about 24 species that grow in Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin area. And then beyond that, there's about 12 that monarchs actually use for eggs. And then I'm going to talk about 5 of them on Sunday.
And the point is, you want to have a regional specific milkweed, if at all possible,
You do.
right?
You do. However, I am not against growing those annual species in a pot next to your patio for that novelty part. You know, you're going to grow petunias and geraniums and things like that. You can safely grow a couple of tropical milkweed or balloon milkweed, um, or Tweedia milkweed safely. You're not going to hurt anything if you just have like 1 or 2 pots of it. And the good thing is that the monarchs like those plants and they will be attracted to your yard. However, 90% of your milkweed in your garden should be native.
All right. That's a good point to make. And we will talk about that on Sunday. We'll talk about the numbers coming out of Mexico. And there's a reason, and I just found out a few minutes ago, there's a reason why Peggy and I haven't talked about it yet this year. And that's because the numbers just came out. And and we're going to talk about why that happened and what they are. They're not bad, but we're still in a place where monarchs are in peril,
Yes.
and we need to continue to pay attention to that. We'll talk about other pollinators. We'll talk about plants you can grow in your yard. You can always go to hort4u.net. You can see that right below Dolly's name there and get more information. And we'll talk about your brand new career once you get your master's degree and you take over the horticultural world.
Oh, God. No, probably not.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then we won't talk about that. But Dolly
I'm
Foster,
not a barnstormer.
we're very excited to talk because it's the beginning of the summer right now coming up. Let's get some garden talk here and some smart environmental talk from our friend Dolly Foster, and that will happen on Sunday. We want you to join us then. Whoa, that was abrupt. I made an abrupt cut there. On Sunday at 9 a.m. Central, please go to our YouTube page and subscribe. You can also watch us on Schmetabook, sometimes known as Facebook, and Twitter, sometimes known as Who Knows with Elon Musk. And you can also go to Mike Nowak. Dolly, you can stop laughing back there. You can also go to MikeNovak.net. Please join us, 9 a.m. Central. Be there or be square.